Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I'm your host, Hery Acosta. Who better to start the season off going up against than the Oklahoma City Thunder on October 23rd, playing here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Now, we know it's going to be more of a rematch of Game 7 rather than, like a Game 1 through 6 where Halliburton was healthy and all that. But neither team really did a lot of crazy moves during the offseason, so this is really going to be kind of like the same matchup as last year, only the Pacers will not have Tyrese, or they will not have Miles Turner either. So that is one of the big key points to look at. It's going to be a little bit of a different starting lineup than what we had against Oklahoma in the finals. Now, I won't put it past the Pacers if the Pacers win this game. I think the Pacers could win their opener. Now, the Thunder want to prove that this wasn't a one and done, that they want to keep winning championships and that they have the team for it. So this is going to be one to mark, one to definitely write down. I'm very excited to watch this game. Hopefully I can attend it. I'm hoping to get tickets for this game, but you know how that's going to be. It's going to be some pretty steep price for that. But I really want to. I love going to the openers. They always have some really cool stuff. But I can see the Pacers winning this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. Now, if the Thunder win, it's going to be a close game. If the Pacers win, it's also going to be a very close game. Just who wants it more, who wants to prove their worth. But, this is going to be a very interesting game to watch. Now, on over to Ben Shepard. I was just kind of thinking of topics to talk about, and one that came to my mind was Shepard, and it's just, what do we need from a player like Shep this year? Just because he's one of those guys that if he's healthy, he's gonna play. So he's in the rotation, but he's not a consistent minute getter. So he's not constantly getting 15 to 20 minutes a game. One game he'll get 20 minutes. One game he'll get 30. Another game he'll get 3. Now that's not just always whether or not he's having a good game or if he's struggling, but also kind of just like how everyone else around him is playing. Because there's games where he's the last guy off the bench. There's games where he's the first guy off the bench. So if someone's in foul trouble, Shepard will go in. Now, what I kind of expect from Shepard, and what I feel like a lot of indie fans are expecting from Shepard, is an absolute insanely good defensive season off the bench. If Nembhard comes out and Shepard comes in, don't lose any defensive intensity. Make sure that he is guarding their best guard, or even if it's a small forward, Shepard can hang with the best of them. He is a very good defender. Tortures a lot of people on defense, and he's also a very good shooter. So hoping to see a more consistent 3-point shooting season. He can get to the paint, very good catch and shoot. So that's just kind of the quick and easy stuff that is expected out of Shep in his third season. He was a little bit of an older rookie, so he is closer to 26 now, as he will be 26 next season. But he's still about to hit his prime, so we can see a defensive juggernaut here soon next year. And for another player that we can talk about, Cam Jones. Now, he's a little bit different. I haven't fully grasped where he could really fit in this rotation. Now, at the moment, he'd probably be 11th or 12th in the rotation, just because you already got McConnell and you have Shep as pretty much the 6th man, and Shep would probably be like the 8th, because Obi Toppin's right there. But Cam Jones, he's a good guard, good addition to the roster. We'll probably spend a lot of time in the G League to try to get some minutes and just really see what he's capable of. But when it actually comes to playing in the NBA, I think it's all going to have to do with what Rick Carlisle thinks of Jones and how he shows up. Not really just in like the preseason, but really in the trainings and practices, kind of seeing what we got from him. Now we know he's a good 3-point shooter. We know he's a decent defender. But there's just still a lot to his game that he could work on, a little bit more consistency, a little bit better scoring, and just kind of just seeing what he can do out there. I mean, he's kind of like a Johnny Furphy. We drafted Furphy in the second round and just kind of threw him in to see what he was capable of. I kind of see that going for Cam Jones. I don't see him averaging more than 10, 15 minutes a game at any point in the season. Now, do I see him averaging that in the future? Yeah, he could definitely turn into a very solid role player. He could even be a starter in the league. I don't know if it's going to be with the Pacers, but he brings a lot to the table, and it's going to be fun to watch this year. I hope he gets his minutes, but there's going to be a lot of players looking for minutes on this roster. Very, very deep roster, and we don't know who's going to make the cut. So, and then last but not least, talking about expectations for the Pacers, the expectations haven't changed. The expectations in the NBA is to win a championship. Now, obviously there's teams that tank because they know they don't have the roster to win a championship. Pacers, no matter what, have a roster that can win a championship. Now, it is going to be a lot harder without Tyrese. It is going to be harder without Turner, and what everyone thinks of Turner is one thing, but he was here for 10 years. He knows this team like the back of his hand. He knows the playbook. He knows everything. So it's going to be interesting adjusting to the game without him. And then just kind of our uncertainty at center and just really how we want to mess with these rotations. I think Rick Carlisle can lead this team far. Now, for that to happen, Siakam's going to have to turn into Dirk Nowitzki just fully. But that's one thing in itself. But the team that we have around Halliburton and Siakam is one of the best rosters in the league. Whether people think it is or not, whether a person like Jeff Teague just wants to keep on talking and say that is the worst finals team, like that's still crazy to me that he even tried to come out and say that. But enough of one of the most boneheaded commentators in basketball. There's just a lot to really grasp whenever you're going to talk about the Pacers. Now, the main thing would be don't rely too much on one player. Spread the wealth, spread the love. There can be 7 or 8 players on this team that can average 10 a night. While at the same time, there may not be a player averaging over 20. Now, Siakam and Mathurin are my picks to average over 20. But you also see a player like Nembhard 15 to 18 points a game. Obi Toppin 15 points a game if he really wants to off the bench. McConnell can average 12. So that's just all other stuff we got to look at. Now, anything can happen. This season is up for grabs. So we'll see how that goes. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby. Go, Sirs.